Welcome to this edition of Barnstable Today. I'm Len Gobeil. The Barnstable Town Council met Thursday, October 7th, and they covered a wide range of topics. They held a joint meeting with the Planning Board, and in that meeting, there was a proposed ordinance that would prohibit the construction of new docks and piers in recreation and shellfish areas. The Planning Board supported the new ordinance, and Councillor Rick Barry eventually made a plea for residents to continue to stay involved about issues they feel strongly about.
I've been doing this now. I'll be going into my 12th year. I won't be doing it anymore after next year because of term limits. Quite frankly, I don't know if I would run again, even if I could. Because I find issues like this personally very frustrating. Because my job, and it can be a difficult job, it can be an easy job. And in situations like this, obviously I'm entrenched in this particular issue. But if it was an issue that I wasn't entrenched in, I work for you, the people. I'm elected by you, the people. And when people have a particular issue that they want to be passed before this legislative board, or I would suggest any legislative board, it comes down to, and what I will tell people to promote their own agenda or whatever's going on, you got to fill the room. So the first thing I'd like to say is thank you, all you people who came out in support of 2010-159. You've really showed your passion. You've obviously done your homework, and it's an important issue to you. It's an important issue to me, and I hope it's an important issue to everyone up here. We had onwards of 20 people stand up, speak in favor of this. We've had the Planning Board, for the second time, unanimously approve this. So I'd like to just get back to what it is to be a representative, and that's to be a voice of the people. And you, the people, showed up. There's a couple of people up here on our town council that are running for other office. Well, I don't think I heard from Mr. Jones, who is the chairman of the committee that prepared the document, that calls for the adoption of 160, the next item on the agenda, sponsored by Mrs. Jokum. And if this doesn't pass, I don't know if that'll pass either. But the question becomes, why should you go with 159 over 160? And to me, it boils down to human nature. Everybody wants something. You drive by, you see a nice truck, you want a new truck, whatever. There's a pier that was built, it's referred to as the Bothwell Pier. Back in 2000, the Bothwell family over in Shoestring Bay was issued a no motorized craft pier, a pier, because there was less than 2 feet of water under the dock. Well, the Bothwells, and for whatever reason, decided to sell that pier. New owner purchased it. His name's not important, but it was a clear condition of the certificate of compliance issued by the Conservation Commission. Now, we heard that the number of docks in the last 20 years has almost doubled. And there's a certain mentality out there about, I can do whatever I want to do. And I'm suggesting that's the reason why you vote for 159 instead of 160. Now, Shoestring Bay, it's got some great clams in it. It's not where most of you folks who are out there shellfishing. It's got some issues with respect to pollution and so on and so forth. But this pier started out as a dinghy dock, just like what's called for in 160. New folks moved in, bought the house, put some boats on it. First there was a 28-foot whaler. Then there was a 35 with twin 400s. And from June 2005, there's now a 37-foot boat with twin 540 horsepowers that's on the dock. During this, well, it's not 2 feet of water anymore. It used to be 2 feet of water. But when you put 1,000 horsepower in some muck, you got a hole that's 10, 12 feet deep. Now, what I'm trying to do, and I hope that all the people up here, because I'm having little or no faith in my fellow representatives, if this doesn't pass, is this town spends approximately $100,000 a year on clams, and it also spends money for salaries for guys like Tom Marcotti and Doug Calloway to regulate this stuff. There aren't clam cops running around all over the place checking out to see. I think since I've lived here, I got checked one time to see if I had a license. It's a question of enforcement. And what happened over in Shoestring Bay, where you went from a 8-foot dinghy and 2 feet of water to a 37-foot boat, comes down to me, it's a pretty clear issue. As Mr. Rapp said, it's a balancing test. We have golf courses for golfers. We got baseball fields for baseball players. We've got a new community center that costs $25 million for the kids of the town. I want to thank everyone for coming here. This is an important issue for us, the representatives. Are we listening to what you, the people, have to say? The next time you go to the voting booth and there are contested elections, remember, are you voting for the people? Is he voting or is she voting for the people? Or is it your own self-interest? Thank you.
After a roll call vote, the measure passed 10-3. Later in the meeting, Barnstable Police Chief Paul McDonald spoke in favor of the acceptance of a $1 million federal grant which would give the town of Barnstable money to hire 5 new police officers.
You'll wait all night, but thank you.
Good evening, Mr. President, Town Councilors, Town Manager, Mr. Clem, Assistant Town Manager, Mr. Lynch. This was an extremely competitive grant. There was 4,590 communities applied for this grant throughout the country. There were 379 awards made. We were one of 5 in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. There was a great deal of work and effort put into this grant by several members of our organization, but the brunt of that work fell on the shoulders of our Director of Support Services, Ann Spillane. And with your permission, I'd like to have her give you the rationale, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Good evening. The rationale is to, total value of the grant is $1,121,905 over 3 years. It funds 5 police officers over that 3-year period, base salary and benefits. It will provide the opportunity to do community policing, more extensive community policing, by being able to bring on those 5 additional police officers.
Thank you very much.
That grant was accepted by the Town Council with only 1 vote in the negative. That's it for Barnstable Today. We'll see you on Tuesday, October 12th. I'm Len Gobeil.